I think we're live.
We're definitely live, but we're stuck in this window. Oh, there we are.
There we
Hey, welcome, nerds. How are you all doing?
I'm good.
You're well.
How are you, Connor? Or are you talking to the crowd?
Well, I can talk to you if you like. If we've got to converse with each other, other than
Yeah,
my
it's
toe
been a
that I just
while. Like, I
tugged.
think Robbie was on the last one, right? So, like, you ready to, you up to date with all the release notes you read through? Or are we going to repeat some of the same stuff again?
We're going to go through 2.200. We're going to learn together. I've not even prepped for this, as I never do, because I like to live life on the wild side, is the reality of that. Yeah, it's a biggie. A biggie is 2.2. Does anything exciting stand out, though, by having a quick look? No, this might be a rough hour, Mendy, will this? But I'm sure we'll dig out some gems.
There are a lot of ones that have, like, lots of detail
in
2.20. Look at all these things that have, like, expanded options. But I don't remember. Like, the problem is we've read this so long ago. I don't remember what they all are. Oh, Aerosphere integration. If you use that, is that the distributor? I think.
I don't even know what that is. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, so there's a large. I didn't know they're called Aerosphere. There's a large distributor called Aero. Is it the same as Aerosphere though? I don't know if that's.
I'm googling. Hold with me.
Arrow.com.
Aerosphere. Yeah, arrow.com. Yeah, Arrow Electronics. Yeah.
Yeah, Aerosphere is arrow.com. Yep, that's the same one. So they have that's like a massive distributor. They were like the distributor before the distributors, and then they eventually broke into the MSP space, like in the last, I don't know, 6 years maybe. But they're really, really, really old distributors, been around for a really long time. A lot of people have been jumping to them. So I have had many clients ask for that integration.
I do know these. I used to buy a Cronus through them. And I was confused by who they were because I never heard of them before either. Yes, I do know.
But the logo is like that. Like, you don't realize it says Arrow until you know it says Arrow. Like, it's just squiggly lines.
They clearly didn't resonate with me, did they? But yes, there you go. If you need that integration, you've now got it.
Yes, that's a big one.
Tanium webhooks. I don't know what that is. I guess if you need it, then it's a thing. And Raynet 1. Don't know what that is either. Raynet 1 is... What is that?
I think is it an asset management?
Let's find it. True IT asset visibility with Raynet 1.
Yeah, it's asset management.
Okay, cool. Well, if you need it, now you got it.
I'm not sure it's for like MSPs, but yeah, either way. Mobile app versions and release info has been put onto the base page, so now you can actually see, like, clicking up here. I don't know how many people knew that, but like there used to be able to get the net integration, right? Like the server backend stuff. Now they took that away, and you can put now you can get like the mobile version information, so you can see release details about mobile app. Which doesn't have a lot of development on it.
I was about to say, I didn't know they were developing a mobile app. Clicked it. Oh, okay. I guess they're not then.
Yeah, there's not much here.
Yeah, I never really spoke to them about it because with HTML5 it renders.
I use the browser.
Yeah, I do the same for what I need. It's not the best user experience for if you was using it all day every day to like log work. I think it can be cumbersome, but then use a tablet and it's fine. It's a real tough one. I know certain PSAs have a real great mobile app, but you end up having to be gated in the mobile app way.
A PSA have a really good mobile app, just by the way. So I don't know which ones you're thinking of, but regardless, like I use the mobile website for a lot of things. Like, I write up full blown emails on it, right? And I actually do like admin work. You can't do things like workflow design or runbook design or SQL because it's just bad. But if you're just like making changes to settings, building out ticket types, or doing basic node entry, it works fine.
I use it for ticket management on a night. If someone emails back in and I want to just bounce back through it, I'll just pull up the mobile app. It works fine. But yeah, it is what it is. We can track it now. I might even reach out to Halo, see what their plans are around said things. What else have we got? Using the save as function for configuration areas such as lists and filters will give the option to copy the access control list. This still drives me mental, by the way. Like even in this current stable now, like they broke something that was perfectly fine and fixed it half-assedly, and it's still annoying. What we mean, by the way, particularly for me, is if you copy a list or make a new list within a service desk area, it used to just do the permissions fine. And then they moved it all to access control, but they moved a lot of things to access control. So now when you copy a list, it will put it as you, which is kind of okay. I wanted to copy the ACL of the other list, but whatever. If you make a new column profile, it makes it for you. And then if you forget to go and do that, you've got to go and do it. I don't know. It was.
So let's show, because this is a pretty big change that happened. People weren't told about it. So like if you're looking at a ticket area, you have the ability to set up a new filter profile, a new column profile over here, and you can do lists over here, for example. And it used to be that when you were creating a new list, let's say, you would have a restriction field to say like who has access to it. Everyone, just you, or a specific team or whatever, right? Like team or department. So that's how it used to be. And then they eventually migrated to access control for better control of permissions, which is a good thing. The problem is that they don't give you the access control until after it's saved. So if I were to create a new list, Mendy's new list, for example, I have to save it. And then once I have it, I have to go back to the list, hit access control. And right now, I'm the only one who can see it. Right? What you have to then do is come here and change this to all agents with a read access or read and modify if you want to give them that. Right? And then everyone else can see it at that time. Which also means like if you've ever built a list and then tried to use it in a dashboard, and you'll notice that it doesn't show up on the dropdown, right? It's because the list that you've created has not been given access, and so therefore the dashboard can't read it. So you have to go give everyone access to it, then you can use it on the dashboard. And the same thing happens, like Connor was saying, on the column profile. Here, if we want to make a new one, again, access control is not available. And you have to edit it to then go edit the access control up here. And the same thing with filter profiles. If I go back to like tickets by agent and click here, my filter profiles, the same exact thing happens. Access control is not available. And so what they're saying in this release note, and that's a bug that they're aware of and they're working on and whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Well, this is like the fixed state. When it first was done and you made a new list, it would do no permissions. You'd have to then go to config tickets views list to find the list you just made and then do the permission. So this is like the middle step.
Yeah. But it's still a bug that they know about, that they're working on improving. At some point, they'll get to it.
Do you know what the biggest issue is with this? If you just go config tickets views and lists, it used to tell you or show you who had access to each list, right? And I say to my partners, let your staff make their own list. If there's a good one, you can see who made it. It was Mendy, and you can roll it out to the team. The problem is now you have no idea who's made all these lists or who has access to them. So if you go, let's remove all the tier 3 restricted ones, you've now got no idea, other than writing a report, I assume. I don't even know what endpoint that would be, to go and find out who it is. So this really annoys me, actually. It used to be really handy seeing in here what permissions and where they were applied. Now you've got no idea. You've got the area or the use, but yeah,
how would you even represent those though? Although we're getting a little bit off topic, but
comma separated list would be fine, I think, in most scenarios.
Say it again.
Comma separated list would probably be fine. That's how it used to be.
But it would have to be like agent and role, because it's like it's different entities.
It'd be painful, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, the feature that they're talking about specifically is if we go back to here and edit an existing filter profile or list. I don't remember what it was saying. Was it just on
using the save as function for configuration areas such as list filter profile?
So if I edit an existing filter profile, I can come back here and literally save as new at the bottom. And by doing that, it'll ask me, do you want to copy the access control across? Otherwise, I'll become the owner and it'll be removed. And so that's the feature that it's talking about on that release.
Which is really good. That's cool. We're now center screen. We can like wrap up that bit. So if you want to copy access control, there you go. Moving on to the next thing.
All right, there we go. We're back.
He's had a look. What did he say? 985384.
What's he talking about? Oh, he's saying that he's just pointing out different features. We'll get to it. I don't want to necessarily call out just the only ones. I'm not even sure what version that's in. But like there's here, when configuring actions in a webhook, it's now possible to choose a trigger from create. This is a big one, right? Like right now, when you are when you have a action that has a system use. So if I go back to here and I look at configuration, you can set up an action to have a system use that's going to fire off a webhook, right? So this system use right here can fire off a webhook or integration runbook. And right now, like by default, it's only going to fire it off when you create the action, right? But in certain circumstances, like what we've done is we have custom fields on the action that drive values based off of what, like they actually create other things based off the values of those fields. And then if, like, for example, we built an easier way to add expenses like as part of the workflow. And so then we take the values and we create an expense on the ticket based off what they enter. But if someone goes and they want to change that expense, how do we update it? So now they've added this functionality where we can come in here and say, hey, if they edit the action and then edit the fields, we rerun the same runbook. So then we can regrab those same action, like the same values, and update the existing expense with the new values. It allows us to keep that in sync moving forward. And then create, edit, and delete. We'll just fire off the webhook as well on a delete of the action. The only thing that you need to be aware of is that it's very easy to cause a loop. If you end up editing, if your runbook edits the action back, like creates a note or whatever, then it's just going to fire off the same runbook, and then you have a problem where you've looped nonstop, right?
But I wonder if they validate against that. I've seen someone put a note about a loop the other day in the chat. I didn't look into it, but yeah, I wonder if they're going to validate against that. I don't know. It's hard to do it.
Like it's not that hard because like I created my own validation basically. I'm reading the audit log. The very first step of the runbook is to read the audit log of who last changed that action. Yeah. And if that audit log shows that it was the runbook agent, then I just die. And if it wasn't the runbook agent, then I move forward to the rest of the runbook. So it does loop twice and stops on the second step, right?
Yeah.
So something like that could easily be done on their end, right? I'm doing a workaround, and from a code, it'd be easier.
I wonder if they've done it. Is the more the question, but I don't know. We'll soon find out. I'm sure we'll break it. Bit of fun like that. Options have been added to the CSP invoice lists to mark invoice records as billed and not billed. I'm assuming that's direct CSP billing.
Yeah, it's consumption billing specifically from like the CSP for if you're a direct reseller. I don't know many MSPs who are. I have a couple, but for the most part, most people don't use this.
So, well, it's not usable right now, right? Because it updates the Azure, so the consumption is updated daily. So if you forget to bill on a day and it resets the next day, it's just a single counter. You lose it. So consumption, the Azure consumption billing is a counter. If you aggregate it together, a single entity.
I have 2 clients that are using it. I have one client that's actually billing on it, as far as I know, and it's working.
For consumption?
Yeah.
I was fairly sure that consumption was a single field that you can aggregate it together, a single value that was updated every day. So if you forget to invoice on the first, it then resets that integer the next day. You can't invoice for it. Was my understanding. I don't think
Halo imports all the CSP invoices from Microsoft, and there's an ongoing table like on the client side. It brings in all the values of all the different lines that come through, and you can turn it into a recurring invoice, like it's a new automated quantity calculation.
Yeah,
so I don't know what if we're talking about the same thing, but again, for direct CSP,
that PAX 8 consumption billing, maybe that was it. I can't remember.
Yeah,
maybe that was the integer counting. Yeah,
yeah.
We've only got one client who's direct CSP that was built way before. I've never needed to do it actually. So yeah, okay.
Yeah, because this is direct CSP. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, very little exposure to it, honestly.
Let's see what else. This is not really anything special. It's not supposed to overrun price per currency on the product items. This is kind of cool. So if you do multiple currencies, you can, like, remember Connor, like a million years ago when I brought up multiple currencies, you were like, oh, my screen is not being shared. Here.
No.
This is the one I said doesn't really. It's not a big deal. It's third-party ID string. Cool. This is one that's multiple currencies. Connor's like first words to me when we first started talking, I was like, "Don't use it." It's so bad. And how
It came on a. It's definitely better now.
Yeah, they've done so
Multi-currency.
much work to it.
They've done so much work. I still don't do true we invoice in 5 currencies at Renada, right? But we are siloed products per currency, overridden hard costs, because it just didn't like automatic conversion. I didn't trust, but it's came a long way now. We've got a few clients using true multi-currency. They've added some new settings as well, which I'm sure we'll get to at some point to make it a little. It has varying mileage. This helps things slightly.
Yeah. This is interesting. If you've been building out your ticket rules based off ticket types that you're individually selecting, I would encourage you to go back and refactor them to use either ticket type groups, or ITIL ticket types, because
So
that way you don't have to maintain your rule every time you build a new ticket type, right?
Yes.
You just focus on the group or on the ITIL type. So that's a good one. This is a interesting one. If you have a workflow that you require an action to be done before work can happen on the ticket. So for example, like let's say you want to force an SLA response on the ticket before anything happens, you can actually block view of the ticket based off the workflow step that they're on. So for example, if I share this ticket, this tab, and we'll go to workflows. When you're inside of a workflow, let's say our incident management workflow, if the very first thing we want to have happen is a response, then we can build a step that says something like, respond to ticket, if I can type, and we'll just say that the responded, where are you? Response behavior is set to automatically respond, right? And then we can set this respond to ticket before we go to the working workflow, and we'll make this the start step. And then over here, we can put a show a message instead of the progress ticket history, which will actually block visibility of the ticket. So when you open the ticket, the technician doesn't have a choice. They have to hit the respond first before they can actually see anything about the ticket. So we can show all except for administrators or for managers of the team, right? And so then at this point, we can say, please come back here. Please respond. And it's like rich text. You can do whatever you want, right? Including images.
Oh my lord. As soon as you clicked that and it was a rich text field, my head just went, oh.
There's so much that you can do with this.
This really, opens the doors, doesn't it? Jesus. So for anyone wondering, you can put HTML in there and CSS. So
you can do whatever you want.
Someone asked me the other day about having a warning banner during a ticket. This is in essence what I can do with this, isn't it? Because you can throw the HTML anywhere on the page. It will render in-app.
And then what this looks like is, assuming I would go impersonate an agent. I have to open up a ticket first. That we can do. That we'll start the workflow over real quick.
Oh, we're going to break some stuff with that. I can guarantee you.
Yes, it's really cool. I have to go to someone who's not an admin, so it's just impersonate Robert.
Well, it's going to run HTML without needing to edit the ticket. Like that's kind of insane. Halo doesn't have that in many places.
Here's the message. So I can't see progress. I can see the ticket.
Yes.
Right. And I have to hit the respond to ticket button up here. Upon doing that, I can save the action, and then I see the ticket. And that's
you could definitely hide actions though using CSS in there.
You don't need to hide the actions. Again, it's on a workflow.
Oh, you could force no actions. Have a
you can do whatever you want. So again, it's just a matter of.
I'm going to abuse that. I might end this call now and go and just abuse that.
You can put the button inside your rich text probably. Like you can probably hack. Yeah, to do that.
You could do your own checklist if you wanted to. We see it. Oh, there's what a time to be alive.
This is why I don't want to skip through feature requests. There's some really good ones throughout this.
Yeah, I've not looked at these. I've not gone through the research at all. Oh, we're going to bend some stuff here. Next video, maybe channel bending.
Can you add variables? I don't remember. I don't know. You have to play with that. That's a question that came through from Robbie.
We'll soon find out, Robbie. When I say we'll soon find out, Robbie's pulling up our sandbox right now as he'll start bending the thing into shape. It'd be quite fun. Cool, awesome. A set has been added to invoice approvals to allow the logged in agent to self-approve if they are an invoice approver.
Okay.
What now?
Cool.
The agent.
Yeah, if the agent's an invoice approver, is for internal approvals, right? If the agent is an invoice approver, they don't have to go to somebody else to be like to approve. Right now, like by default, they can't, like, you can't approve your own stuff. But I think this setting has been added to allow them to approve their own stuff. Pretty straightforward.
Agent approve. I don't know. You could approve invoices.
Yeah, it's okay. All right. Well, let's go through that. So configuration under. Oh, I'm still impersonating. Hold on. Under billing and under invoicing separately.
Billing general settles enable invoice approvals.
General settings, and then down here somewhere.
Config billing general approvals. There's a whole section for it.
Yeah, here. Enable invoice approvals, and then you can say must be approved for syncing to a third party. Show logged in agent in the approvers list. So this is the setting we're talking about, right? Right now, the logged in agent is hidden from the list even if they're an approver, so they can't approve their own invoices. If you turn this on, they'll be able to approve their own invoice essentially.
Recurring invoices that are pending approval being rejected will not be available for processing either for invoicing or automatic invoice creation. Where does it show invoice approval? I feel like I've missed a whole section of releases at some point.
It's literally just on the invoice. It's like an approval process. It's like a ticket approval process internally. Okay. It's like the quote approvals internally, or quote approvals. It's the same idea. It was built on the simple quote approval.
Never had it as a requirement. I'll have to go and figure out why I could ever leverage that. Do you use it? Have you used it? What do you use it for?
No, I think we have one person who has it based off of most approvals happen on the quote side, right? So like before it even hits invoicing. But yeah, we don't have any people that use invoicing approval.
Okay. Well, one for another evening with a glass of wine and some features I don't know how to do. Cool. Okay. Next
value in the list is added approval process criteria. That's another important one. So this is if you're using quotation approvals and you're using the complicated approval process, then you can say if the opportunity is over a certain value, it needs to get approved. If it's below a certain value, we don't care. We're going to go ahead and allow it through an automatic.
Really good, actually. That's came up quite a lot in the past with people that are doing, multiple agents are doing quoting. You can quote under $5,000. Anything more, you need approval. So that's really good if you need it. It's handy.
This is like boring authentication stuff. I don't really care.
Depends if you're into PS256 JWT assertion algorithms or not, Mendy. If you're into that sort of thing, it would be exciting. I don't even know what that means. It's just words. If you need that method for authentication, it's a
specific encryption, I'm assuming, for the JWT authorization. But again, if it's something that you need, you'll find it. If not, then that's cool. Logging for the fresh listing migration using the integrator. So now we can actually get logs of what's going on. Yay. Logs are very important.
I agree.
Settings been introduced to configuration user general. So I think accounts, email address, first name, last name. Is that just the prospects, not the clients?
Where the hell have you ran to? A setting has been a setting been introduced. Companies don't make accounts, email address, first name. That's mandatory during manual creation of customers.
Maybe it's okay. Customers. Yeah.
It'll be customer level, won't it? Yeah. Okay, I like that. That's handy, is that? I can get behind that. Useful.
Yeah, the other one's pretty useful too. The dollar user ID variable used in custom fields, popular SQL queries, and I use the user of the ticket if the action is performed by a non-logged in session. Right. So nice. Generally speaking, it uses like the signed on person. If they're not signed on, it'll use the user of the ticket instead.
Which is, I swear, what it used to do, and then they broke it, and then we had to argue that they didn't break it. Yeah. They definitely did broke it, and then I'm like, it's a feature. I'm like, it used to do it. Yeah, we had that all battle. Yeah. License imported for users with the CSP integration will be able to be linked to software licenses at other customer
This
records
is a big one, by the way.
using the tenant ID.
So, what do you do? This is a question that comes up all the time for MSPs to us. What do you do if you have clients that are on one Azure tenant, but are separate customers in Halo?
I break them down in groups and sync them to the right sites.
What about the licensing?
The licensing,
You sync the license from the CSP. It's only going to go to the primarily
master
tenant.
It does. It does. Yep, it does.
Go to that
You're
one
right.
tenant. So
you can't split it out either, can you?
What this feature does is it now shows consumption of that license across clients because it's using the tenant mapped. So it knows that the user imported to client B is from client A's tenant, and it links the license to that client A's license. So it shows consumption of that license correctly. And if you look at that license in Halo, you'll see that the users associated are from client B, C, and D for those licenses under client A. So it's actually a really, really helpful feature that they've added in there.
I agree.
All the way, just by the way, quick reminder, like all these functionalities are in beta, which is why you haven't seen them, probably, Connor. Right? This is all beta release notes we're reading at right now. Stable is 196. We're at 200.
I know that. I'm aware of that.
I'm reminding
Stable's coming though. In the next, what, we're 2 weeks away for West Coast America?
Coming, yeah, the release candidate's 208, and that'll be coming shortly. Although they did extend their release cycle. So I think
so this one's still going ahead. So this quarter or this month, October, we will see most of the rollouts done. And then I think it's January, and then there's 3 a year as opposed to 4.
Okay.
Which makes me really happy inside. If we see any improvements on QA, and if not, then there's no difference, is there? It's just longer waiting.
This is for knowledge-based stuff, not super special. They added a rule criteria to his draft amendment, right, which allows you to do different things based off of that. Change sequence field has been removed from device and site endpoints. It's no longer used. I don't even know what that is. It's fine. Item supplier SKU will now show on quotes and orders if it's filled in. So there's now 2 SKU fields. Before there's only 1. Now there's 2, one for manufacturer, one for supplier. So it's saying the supplier SKU will be filled in. It will show up on quotes and orders if it's filled in. This is something that they've had for a while, but it's been like a manual process. You have to add like a query parameter at the end of the feedback in order to get it to work. They've changed that to now have like a single variable, so you don't need to do the query parameter at the end. But just so to recap, like if you send out feedback emails and it runs through a web scanner, the scanner is going to trigger all the URLs, and every single feedback link will be triggered on that email, which will essentially leave you with 4 or 5, depending if the client also clicks feedback responses for a single ticket. So what they do is you have a query parameter at the end, like confirm equals true or something like that, require confirm equals true at the end of the URL, and it'll basically mean that that clicking the link does not record the response. They have to hit the submit button on the page in order to actually record the response. And so now they replace that query parameter with this variable that you can just put in. Instead of using $feedback, use $confirm feedback, 1, 2, or 3, or 4, or whatever. And then that way it'll automatically provide that query parameter to you. And it'll be the same behavior. They have to actually click confirm or submit to get the feedback logged on the ticket, which will stop the automatic web scanners from triggering the feedback into Halo.
I've not seen it to be, interestingly, much of an issue as it once was. It used to be a massive problem.
They've added some technology to detect the user agent string of who's doing it. So like some of the stuff has been carried down that way. But I actually just had this with a client, actually. They were like, we get 2 email notifications for every feedback left. And I was like, really? We went looking for it, and we found that like there were 2 responses.
SafeLink's doing it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, by the way, if you're only getting 2, that means that your other links don't work, because SafeLink should be firing all 3 of them. And we went and checked the email template, and sure enough, the other 2 links were broken. So the only response anybody could have submitted was an excellent score. So we fixed that.
It doesn't need fixing then, does it? Like that's amazing. Like that's all we need.
Exactly. That's
100% awesome feedback. Keep it.
Needed. Yeah. And
images
they got
can
2
now be
awesome feedbacks.
There we go. Even better. Well, we only record the most recent feedback when we do it. That's the setting we normally turn on.
Yeah, you can set that on
allowing all. Yeah. So images can now be added by pasting into the plain text version note field when adding actions. Okay, cool.
That's interesting. Oh, it'll just put it as an attachment. Okay,
yeah.
cool.
An additional option has been added to opportunity pipeline stage, default for none.
Okay. Last sync variable, Dynamics 365. Cool. Paragraph formatter option to rich text. Toolbar and KB articles. What does that mean? Oh, cool.
Just headings. Okay, nice.
Yeah. Project deliverables table now show linked recurring invoice IDs.
The project deliverables table.
What is the deliverables table? Is that the products or the items tab?
Item table? Maybe. Has to be.
Yeah.
Deliverables table. I just thought they called it items. I didn't know it was called deliverables. Is that a new name?
I've never seen
They just made it up
before. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so basically, if you've got a sales order, just for clarity, if you've got a sales order, you can add the items from a sales order to a ticket or a project. If you add it to a project, you've got an items tab, which I'm assuming they're calling now the deliverables table,
right.
Which I've never seen in my life ever. And then what you can do is you can consign from that items table to say, yes, I've now delivered the stock. You can then go and invoice for the things. Apparently.
Yeah, there's another setting as well to show items. I don't know exactly where it is, but to show items that are not actually added to the project, but just on the sales order. I think it's maybe under project management, maybe. Yeah. So here, show non-consignable items from the sales order. So
okay.
I'm assuming this is going to be what then shows the linked recurring invoice ID at that point.
You'd assume so.
Because it'll show up on the same tab under a different table on the same tab for that.
But... You're talking about the deliverables table, Mendy?
Maybe, and I just completely forgot that that's what it's called. I don't really use it much.
That. I'm almost positive it's not called that.
We can go try something and figure it out, but it might be too much work for our call.
Nobody cares.
Yeah. Moving on.
Web search virtual agent function added. Oh, curious.
Use the OpenAI response endpoint to search the web for the latest public information, and a response is formed based on the results. That's cool.
Is it though? Do you really want your end users web searching via your AI app to answer questions? Like never use this is my advice. Like just fucking do a responsive, go Google it yourself. Like this. This is why I hate AI agents and I hate agents in general like this to be honest, live chat. But yeah, I don't know. If you're building an agent for yourself internally, that is just a replacement of Google.
Because agents in chat can be chat virtual agents can be presented to either end users or
that's what I mean.
Agents, right? So
if it's internal and you want to do web search, it could be
maybe it could be useful for functionality for that.
I don't know.
The current value of a persistent runbook variable can now be seen and reset from the runbook variable config screen. Okay, cool. AI script fields can be hidden when empty. Okay. Disable anonymous reporting access to reporting settings. What?
Added the setting, disable anonymous reporting access to reporting settings.
Why would that ever be on? I'm not even sure what that means.
I'm assuming it means you can't. Well,
if it's talking about allowing access to reporting from an anonymous login, like why would that ever be on?
Can you do anonymous links on a report? I didn't know you could do that. Availability. I'll publish this report, allow anonymous access.
Oh,
so
maybe it's talking about that published report. Yeah, it's got to be that.
Maybe then if I go to, where is it saying? Does it tell me where?
Yeah, reporting settings. If you go to show this, if you go to reporting.
On it, configuration, general settings, anony.
Disable anonymous reporting access. Turn that on, and then if you go to a report, any report
on it,
at this point,
on it,
and then go to edit, and then availability.
Oh yeah, hides it. There you go. Publish this report at the bottom. The option's gone.
Anonymous access anymore. Okay, yeah, that's actually again. So my question of shouldn't this be on by default? Yes, this is something you want to go turn on immediately. And it should never have been off, except that they publish profiles like as its own thing is newer. So that's why. So we want to turn that on.
It's a thing. Yeah.
Added a setting to make actions private if they are created from an email and the sender has previously been forwarded an action on the ticket. Oh, that's interesting.
Added a setting to make actions private if they are created from an email and the sender has previously been forwarded an action on the ticket.
Yeah. So, for clarity, if we go into this thing, I can come over here and forward an action to somebody. And so then if they reply back to that email, we want to be able to say this is private. Like I'm forwarding it outside the email chain. I don't want the user of the ticket or other people on the ticket to see, hey, this email is forwarded and now this random dude just popped back into the ticket. So the response back from that person will now be marked private if you turn that setting on. Created from an email, right? They came in from an email, and the sender of that email was forwarded an action on the ticket.
And that's going to be a global setting, isn't it? Yes, it is.
It's under email general settings.
What do I feel about that?
It should be an action level setting.
So my issue is I'll often do my follow-up call notes, right, and email the person on the ticket and go, crap, I forgot to send the notes to the other people on the call, and I will forward them off, right, to the other people, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they then reply back in, now they're going to be private notes, but I don't want them to be private notes, right? So it's a global, like in most cases, you're forwarding to add more people is the way we use it, because I forget, there's like 10 people on a call and I forget to email them all. But then you're globally going to say, don't do that. Is there a scenario where I'd actually forward it? No, I would do a private note. Yeah, I don't know how that helps me. Not that it's all about me, but I just mean in general, I don't know what I would advise the benefit. Are people really forwarding from tickets to people outside of the chain?
Yeah, it does happen for sure. There's a better way of doing this though, and there's a new feature coming that's going to fix this. It is going to depend on you using Microsoft 365, which will track the message ID, right, and thread messages, but it'll actually maintain the threads. And so like if you forward out an email, it'll build a thread specifically between you and that person, and then the reply back will be tracked to that thread. And so then the conversations will be maintained to that thread specifically. It does require
I'm still scarred by threading, so let's move
Microsoft
on
365
PTSD from that.
But that's going to be a rebuilt feature on the different threads that they're going to have, and it's going to allow for private conversation that way within the same ticket.
Okay. Then I guess
I also reduce ticket details refresh intervals. This is kind of cool. You can bring it down to like seconds, down to 10 seconds. You get 5 more seconds of update frequency or speed if you want. If the 15 seconds is too long.
15 seconds is too long.
POs can be synced to 0 now. So that's cool. A date of an imported subscription.
Well, hang on. They could always be sent to 0.
Using the
selected, but using the selected currency and converted amount from Halo, I think is the difference here.
Okay. Multi-currency stuff. I don't really use POs.
I don't use POs either. Push to 0 using selected currency and converted amount from Halo. So I'm assuming then. Wait, how would that work? How would that work? How didn't that work? Is actually the more obvious thing I'm asking. Yeah, I guess. Can you do currency against a vendor? Because currency is normally dictated by the customer, right? The currency comes down to the invoice or sales order based on customer level.
I'm pretty sure you can do currency on POs now.
I don't know. I've never needed to know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you're doing POs in multiple currencies, I don't know who's doing that, but if you're doing that, then there's a setting here you might want to go and learn in the next release. 2 to 4 weeks. Sorry, as we were. The end date of an imported subscription from the Also or West Coast cloud integration will now use the contract end date if there is no subscription end date.
Pretty straightforward.
Okay, cool. I guess there was a problem with that integration where they were empty. Added the field mapping employee type to the Microsoft Entra ID integration. Cool. If you didn't know, by the way, you can use pretty much any fields you want from Entra. You can specify manually what field it is you want to use. So this being a default is great, but we'll often leverage stuff like this and just you can kind of guess what the string is going to be based on the other ones. But yeah, handy to have it there by default. Added the setting to hide ticket type selection on new ticket screen
at action level.
At action level.
That's handy.
Sorry, what? Added the setting to hide the ticket type selection on new ticket screen at action level.
Yeah, if you're talking about like a system use of creating a child ticket or creating another ticket, related ticket, right?
Oh, you can hide it from there. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I like that actually, because sometimes you're hard code tasked to be a child. Okay, yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yep.
Added next review date to the match. Yeah, no one cares. When collision detection is enabled for billing entry. Oh god, I'll let you read this. I need to process this mentally for a minute.
So they've added billing entities collision detection. So collision detection is that message that pops up. Like if you're looking at a ticket and somebody else is looking at a ticket, you'll see at the bottom like Mendy Green is viewing this ticket, right? So they've added that to billing entities that you can now turn on. So that's what it's talking about first step. And then the whole point of this is like if you do an update to it or a change to it, it's going to say, hey, somebody else updated this first. Do you really want to overwrite that change? So that's the other part of the collision, which I haven't seen ever happen on a ticket, by the way. But it does. I have seen it on the billing side.
I see the pop up all the time. I've never seen a message saying, "Hey, do you sure you want to add a note?"
Yeah,
but that's curious. I like that.
And then so if it's enabled and changes are detected, the form will then automatically refresh if it's not in edit mode. If it's in edit mode, a message will show to warn that the entity's been updated.
Nice.
So that's pretty simple. In addition, if you're updating an invoice quote order that has recently been updated, you will be warned and shown an option to overwrite the changes or cancel. So this message I see all the time on invoices, because after the 0 or the API updates the invoice after I update it, right? Like they go back and update it back. So I always see that message all the time.
I've never seen it. How weird.
You don't have it on, probably, right? So
actually, I don't think I'm changing many invoices, to be honest.
Billing, general settings. Is it down here? I think collision detection.
That's the new beta setting.
Enable collision detection for when multiple agents are viewing the same quote order or invoice.
So you're seeing that in your prod now because you're in beta. Is that what you mean?
I'm on beta. Yes, I run beta in our system, and then we turn this on. So when you get that, you turn it on, you'll start seeing that message. I guarantee.
Is it annoying?
No, it's just I just laugh because the message isn't properly designed to handle an API response. So it gives me instead of saying who was it updated, it gives me @ and then a name and @ without the actual real name.
I expect nothing more or nothing less, Mendy, from that feature. Yeah. Ticket rule outcomes can now set user level custom
for real criteria.
Who uses ticket tags?
Not me, but it's kind of cool that you can add them automatically if you use a canned text. I found that cool. Not that I ever.
We've started doing scope of works in canned text, and I've started using tags in there. And I don't really know why, because I'm pretty sure I do a new tag for each one, and I don't use it for anything else other than I write in that box and save the fucking thing for no reason. I never search them using a tag, do I? You can't even view it via it. I don't know why I do it. It's just a thing that I do. But fine. If you use ticket tags, you can now, do
use them in rule criteria, which is cool.
There you go.
All right, and now ticket rule outcomes can set user level custom fields. That's pretty big.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I'd use it for, I'm not going to lie, but it's a thing you've got.
Config tracking to look up profiles. Okay, cool.
Lookup profiles being database lookups, right? Or something different?
Because they renamed the database lookups to just lookups, or SQL lookups to lookups.
Okay? Yes, they did. Fine. Okay, well, hey, config track anything is my advice.
It should be. Yeah, it should be tracked. Everything should be tracked.
Updated the interactive login process for all integrations that use an interactive logging flow.
So instead of taking you out of Halo, it uses a pop-up now to log in. That's the primary change.
Which is lovely. Added start date and end date query string parameters to the feedback endpoint.
Okay. Not sure. Oh, I guess it's filter. It must be filter.
Yeah, I didn't know they weren't there.
Yeah.
Okay. When documents are created or updated moving forward, the last updated field will now display on documents and folders in list view.
Okay, cool. This is a big one.
You read it then. You have the limelight. I've not read it yet, to be honest with you.
It is now possible to enable the automatic creation of products and items, as well as recurring invoice lines from PAX8 subscriptions.
I'm annoyed this just came into Halo.
What?
Because they've been saying for 4 years it's coming, and I was very happy on the premise it was never going to come, but it's actually now arrived.
And now it's here.
Now it's actually here. I don't know how I feel about it, is the problem. Because it's going to add loads of crap you might not want. How is it going to validate what does or doesn't already exist? Right? Like if you've got a business premium product, like how is it going to know
the automatic quantity calculation assigned to that line?
Yeah, but what I mean is that possible to add the enable automatic creation products? Yeah. So the problem is if you've already got all of your products defined and then PAX8 syncs, it's going to make them all again, I assume.
Yes.
There's no way to validate.
I'm assuming. I don't know. We haven't
it's going to have to do, right? It's not going to. How else could it validate? Because everyone names it differently. So like, it's
unless there's a way. There must be a way to link the item to the PAX8 subscription now, like on the back end, and like maybe we can figure out what that is and do the linking for them.
Maybe Halo should do a matching table.
There probably is a matching table. We just need to find it and update it.
Yeah.
I mean on the back end. You mean on the front end?
Yeah, the front end, yeah. Where the rest of the people work, Mendy. Yeah, I don't know. I would say if you're excited by that, amazing. It's helpful.
There's going to be a lot of people who are excited about it. I guarantee it.
Yeah, my whole argument is how often are we adding loads of new products in PAX8?
I agree with you.
And I'm like, we have a report we give most of our clients that runs every day. Subscriptions that are not on recurring invoices. Go and make the product, set your buy price, set the sell price that you sell it at. Right, buy is obviously fine.
We
add
have
it to your invoices. There's like a whole. Maybe we're just conditioned because we've never had it. I don't know. Maybe I should embrace the change.
We have the same report, Connor, but actually our report also shows like a price difference. Like if the subscription comes in as a price lower than what you're selling it at, we call it out also to go fix it. So if price changes on the subscription, you go fix that too.
Yeah, I don't do that. Work with Rising Tide, they're better than us.
We're too busy. Stay with Connor.
We can do it.
End user custom fields is qualification matching criteria. So do you guys use qualification matching?
No.
We do for some cases. Yeah. Because it's more than just like what's certified. We also you can direct load balancing with it.
Yeah.
And you can force like specific assignments to specific technicians who have that capability. So we don't have like a very comprehensive like built out system, but yeah, we use it internally at Rising Tide actually, and we also use it for one customer who needed to be able to route an opportunity to get reviewed by an engineer with certain skills. And they don't know, like the salesperson doesn't know which engineer has what skills. So then we built it out that way. We qualify match just for that purpose, for that specific part of the workflow, and then we get rid of it after that. The salesperson knows the category of the opportunity that qualifies the opportunity to certain agents. Only that agent can be assigned, and then once that assignment happens, we undo the qualification in the back end through an automation.
Outside of your crazy fringe case, if I had Azure experience and was given every goddamn Azure ticket, I would be miserable as a tech. So it's a delicate ensemble, I think, when you're doing qualification matching, because it does, you have a skill.
Load balancing is still checking to see how many tickets you have, and it doesn't have to stick to only ones that are qualified.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean it's a pretty powerful, flexible system. So not a lot of people are going through the full setup, but it actually is like a useful thing to set up if you're doing automatic dispatching.
Yeah, and I suppose the fact you've got client and mailbox now is you could say almost route.
You could say these set of technicians are dedicated to this client from now on.
Yeah.
And then they unless they get busy, right? Like you can give priority based off of what mailbox is coming from. So there's a lot of use cases for qualification beyond just saying, "Look, you're certified in this specific skill," right?
I would do a ticket rule maybe, but yeah, I don't know. You've got options, more options.
Ticket rule means you have a different team.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is more flexible than saying only Mendy deals with the client, the team.
But it's not though. If you say the help desk team has 3 people that can deal with this client, but they also deal with other clients, and other people can deal with the client as well if those 3 people are busy, right? So then you use load balancing, qualification matching, and it prefers those 3 texts. Use the qualification
Or
matching,
multiple teams,
right? Or whatever at that point. So
you've got options. You've got ways, many of the ways. Added is a sensitive. I can't even fucking speak. Added is sensitive as a ticket rule criteria. Okay. Fine.
Not much there. Customer type field can now be displayed on ticket details screen. Okay, that's cool.
Didn't even know it wasn't an option.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's going to be under the user general settings probably. Doesn't tell you where that setting is, but I'm guessing it's going to be where it is.
Gonna have to be, right? Users general settings type. No, why would it be?
Okay. Is it
General
then in
settings
customer type?
type?
No. And if it's not here, it's got to be on the ticket general settings then.
That's where I am right now. Show, yeah, config ticket general settings. Show the customer type field on the ticket details screen. Very much at the bottom, Mendy. Actually, it's not. It's in the middle. If you Control F, show the customer type.
Show the customer. Nope, not here.
Is on my screen.
Client type.
Oh, because we're different language packs.
Different language packs. Yeah.
Brilliant. Things that didn't need to be changed. Anyway, moving on before I get all ranty again.
How does setting supplier from supplier recall actions to ticket settings? Why would that be on the ticket settings though? Wouldn't that be on the action to recall the supplier? Like, wouldn't you say like this case we do want to clear it, and this action we don't want to clear it, or something like that? Anyways,
I've got distracted by the next setting, and I'm getting heart palpitations, to be honest, because
on forecast
the current implementation is utter trash. And I'm like, maybe it's going to be good now. Events
can now be shared across forecasts. I'm not sure what that means. For example, ticket type and ticket source field are now multi-select. Oh, these are not. These are the newer. This is the newer forecast module, not the forecast ticket feature.
Yeah, this is the new. Yeah,
this is a new module.
Yeah,
we went through this before.
This is with the integration, though, right?
Yeah, with the GPT time GPT integration. Yeah.
Yeah.
When choosing to not create scheduled tickets or reports on holidays, a workday section will show so that only holidays on that workday are checked. That's cool.
Do you know what's curious?
What's that?
If you go to the forecasting module now, it says model to use. But there's obviously we looked at the Nixtler or whatever it is, right? Which was the only option. But now you can set models that aren't that, which means it's doing something else.
What do you mean?
Well, is it so underneath the bottom two?
These are all time GPT.
Are they all time GPT? Because the bottom two say explicitly time GPT, and these top three say and grayed out for me.
Oh, maybe they're not. Maybe
they're using AI or something now, like your AI. I have literally no idea.
Maybe it's just simple database stuff. It may not be any kind of AI.
Moving average linear regression simple. I have no idea.
This might just be math.
Ooh, the numbers and things, you mean? Magic. Okay, I guess I'll make an internal task after this to go and learn out how that works.
Yeah.
Or you can learn it and teach us, or Mendy, on YouTube.
I'm already using time GPT, sort of.
Oh, yeah.
In Nixtler. When choosing to not create scheduled tickets or reports on holidays, a workday selection will show. I already read that one, but I'm going to read it again so you're paying attention.
Cool.
So you can pick which workday set of holidays, right? Like holidays from that workday will be followed versus all holidays and all workdays.
Yes, sure.
This is a cool one. I'm just skipping around now because we got 5 minutes left. This is a cool one. So if you have your items properly grouped in like organized in the products catalog, right? Then you could turn the setting on, and then as you add items to quotes, it'll just automatically group them by those item groups. Right?
I'm looking for fun things.
What are you looking for?
Anything fun.
Um,
I mean, to be fair, the fact I can now do a workflow level, a rich text field, and mess
it's
with
already
it,
fun enough for you.
that kind of piqued my fun for the day. To be honest, I might
We
not sleep.
can also just pause here, guys.
Why? We're all so close to being done.
No,
Oh, we're not though, are we? What we've done is we
Those are
skipped
dashboards right now. Multi-select. Look at that.
You just drop down to the bottom.
Yeah, done.
User rules are available as criteria for invoices. I don't even know what that means.
What we'll do, I see where I was going. We're going to stop there for the day.
Yes.
Next time, we're going to continue from where we got to and finish the list. But what's
That
going to happen is me and Mendy are going to forget where the fuck we got to, which was specifically Mendy.
Automatically add group
922.
quotation lines based on
Okay.
item group 922789.
I will make a note. She'll remind us next time, and we'll look like we were organized. What a time to be alive.
So for everyone listening, October is going to be kind of a wonky month. We've got some holidays, we've got some team training. So I believe we'll talk as a team. I think we'll still have 2 By the Run Book episodes, but they may be on different days. So
may even have different people.
May have different people. It may just be some slapstick comedy. We'll see what we got.
It has to be Connor
my
and,
team.
and
I'm not sure.
Robbie for that, because they're the closest people who can hit each other.
We're idiots, so that's as far as we can go with that one.
I love it. So
yeah,
I think it's about holding up. Anyways.
So yeah, well, it was a very good start on 2.200. We'll pick up 2.200 next time and move on to 2.202.
There's a lot in this 2.2. I didn't realize.
Yeah,
I get Mendy's Mendy has this little daily recap thing or update recap bot that sends me like little snippets that I read, and I'm like, oh, this is good. This is all that Halo is doing at the minute. And then you look at the notes, and it's like 6,000 things, and I'm like, oh, the thing that Mendy sends me is it's like
literally
bug
a summary. Yeah,
it's like bug fixes. Yeah, it's there's so much, isn't there? I'm still catching up on the current stable. I think I'm generally quite happy just for the end of this call about the stables being 3 times a year rather than 4 times a year. I feel we can better plan for them. We've got more time to. I know it's an extra couple of weeks, but like more time to implement the things, and
it does mean less total number of features hitting stable, which about.
And it does mean longer waits for something you need fixing is another problem. It's I don't know. It's a tough dichotomy.
The longer wait for fixing shouldn't be affected. That's a different release cycle for bug fixes, unless it's a big enough impact that they go to beta. Right.
I'll be honest with you. A lot of the bug fixes we've had recently have always had to go to stable.
You mean beta?
And then they get called a feature, and then I cry. Yeah, to beta or through the stable cycle. So yeah, patching is fine, but none of my stuff seems to be a patch when I request it now. It's that'll be in this release, and I'm like, when's that? Like 4 weeks. I'm like, no. But yeah,
cool. Well, that's what we run on beta, so we can test it.
Don't be like Mendy. Don't do that.
Well, guys, thank you again. We'll see everyone, I think, on October 13th.